Hey there guys, alright, so today I'm showing you a build that I made for the Hunter because I was sick of the combination blow build, and hopefully you'll like it. The build is centered around the new exotic cloak, mainly the single perk Heart of Inmost Light to get your abilities back, and in this first clip you're going to see me get 2 grenades back to back and then immediately get my grapple again with my melee, then my dodge, and then another grenade plus another grapple shortly after. And overall, I really enjoy this build. Alright, so here we're going to start right off with the super and what the aspects and the fragments I use. For this build, I use Storm's Edge just because I like it. You can also use Silence and Squall. It just comes down to your preference. Then we're going to roll with the Gambler's Dodge to get our melee back, triple jump. Then the Threaded Spike for our melee and the Grapple for our grenade. Then we're going to go into Stylish Executioner with the Gunpowder's Gamble. Then we have the Facet of Ruin, the Facet of Hope, the Facet of Bravery, and the Facet of Purpose. And we're ending on the Facet of Mending. Now going into the loadout, no surprise really, I use the call, and I have one that has Slice and Vorpal Weapon. Highly recommend it because the Slice will sever the target after you activate your class ability, and then the Vorpal Weapon just gives you a damage boost. It will do very well in Dual Destiny or raids if you are going up against orange bars. It will really do well. After that, we're going to go to Graviton Lance because it's Graviton Lance. Then I use Promemoria with Reconstruction and Target Lock, or you can use an Edge Transit with Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch if you got one. Now, this is where the build really shines, is because of the exotic perk Spirit of Inmost Light. For those of you who don't know what it is and who are new to Destiny, what this perk does is it empowers your other 2 abilities after you use one. So if you dodge, for example, on a hunter, your melee and your grenade are going to regen faster, and they are also going to do more damage, which makes this build kind of complete because we are going for getting our abilities back as fast as possible. And with this perk, on top of already having high stats, we get our abilities back super quick. Now we're going to talk about the armor mods that I use. I run a special ammo and a heavy ammo finder because I'm using the call, and I'm going to be using it a lot to kill those orange bars and the more tanky guys. And also the heavy ammo finder because the machine gun I use has reconstruction, so having 100 plus rounds in the magazine is very beneficial. I also run the void siphon, so that way I can generate a ton of orbs by using the Graviton Lance. Now going down to the gauntlets, the first perk I run is Focusing Strike because it gives me class ability energy every time I do a powered melee attack, and thanks to the Spirit of Inmost Light, we are going to be doing more damage with our melee, and it is going to allow my class ability to regen a lot faster. The next perk we are going to run is going to be Firepower because this will give us orbs of power every time we get a grenade kill, and since we have Grapple and the Gambler's Dodge grenade on top of Inmost Light, empowering it and giving us more damage, we have a great way to generate orbs. The last perk we're going to run is Impact Induction, which when we cause damage with a powered melee, it's going to reduce our grenade cooldown, which will allow us to regenerate our grapple and the Gambler's Dodge grenade incredibly fast. Moving down to the chest plate, it really doesn't matter what you run here. It really goes off of the activity you're running, so just put whatever kind of defense mods you need in here according to the activity that you are about to start. Moving on to our legs, the first perk we're going to start off with is Innervation, which reduces our grenade cooldown every time we pick up an Orb of Power. The next perk is Recuperation, which replenishes health every time we pick up an Orb of Power. And the last perk we're going to do is Absolution, which reduces all of our ability cooldowns every time we pick up an Orb of Power. And finally, the class item, the first perk we're going to put on is Reaper, because every time we use our class ability, the next kill we get will spawn an Orb of Power for us on top of the Void Siphon with Graviton Lance. Then we're going to put Bomber on, which will reduce our grenade cooldown every time we use our class ability. And then finally, we are going to put on Outreach, which will reduce our melee cooldown every time we use our class ability as well. Here you're going to see me at the end of an overthrow with the final boss, and why I use Graviton Lance, not only because it is a great exotic with a ton of ad clearing potential because of its intrinsic perk, but this is going to show you really how the build flows and how you run it correctly. So to start off, you're going to throw your melee, and then you're immediately going to get invisibility on a kill. Then you're going to pop your Gambler's Dodge Grenade, then you can pop your Grapple, then to get your melee back, you dodge, throw your melee again to regenerate your grenade, then throw it again, then by the time you get it back, you're going to have your Grapple again. I really like this build mainly because of how versatile it is. You can use this in lost sectors depending on what the champions are and what the shielded combatants are, but you can use it in Dual Destiny and it absolutely does amazing. You can use it in raids because your abilities are coming back super quick, and you can pair it with the right super if you're needing to do damage, and then just have that Heart of the Inmost Light on top of that for more survivability. And in terms of survivability, you have two ways of being able to go invis with this build. Your grapple will, if you get a kill, will allow you to go invis, and if you get a grenade kill with your grapple, that will also allow you to go invis. So the survivability with this build is really top tier. And the other great thing about this build is if you get Heart of Inmost Light with something like Star Eater, you have such a good setup to be so versatile. You can have your class ability and your grenade and your melee recharge incredibly fast on top of getting your super damage bonus from the other exotic trait on your class item. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. It's my first time ever making a Destiny build, but if y'all have any comments or questions, just drop them down in the comment section.